I've spent a lot of time being the only Black person, the only woman, the only LGBTQ person. And what I've learned from that is that there is often a second and a third and a fourth just right behind you. And so if you are dreaming big dreams, know that there are people out there who are ready to support you and to help push you towards reaching those goals. Senator Kim Jackson, and I represent District 41 in Georgia. I am the first LGBTQ state senator in Georgia's history. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a pastor. I remember being 8 years old and going to my pastor in my local church and saying, I feel called to ministry. And he told me that I couldn't do it because I was a girl. But I also came out when I was in college, and so once again I hit another hurdle. But I'm really grateful that I was able to find a church and a theology that does make space and room for people who love like me. I was ordained in 2006, and that made me the first Black out LGBTQ Episcopal priest ever ordained in my diocese, the Diocese of Atlanta, but also in the entire Southeast. I knew that I wanted to run for office when I was just 13 years old. I was a part of one of those youth programs where they take kids and introduce them to lots of different kinds of jobs. We ended up at the city council where our very first Black mayor was presiding over that council. And as I listened to them talk and I saw someone who looked like me, I had that light bulb moment. The night that I won, I was just absolutely elated and filled with gratitude, and it also felt unreal. But most of all, I just felt the joy of that 13-year-old child who lives inside of me, who was just like, I told you you could do it. Before I ever ran for office, I began and continued a career as a pastor who spoke up on behalf of those who were often on the margins. And so a major priority of mine is to work for criminal justice reform and to make sure that we can make the steps to provide affordable housing for Georgians across the state. I'm also deeply interested and invested in making sure that we have an anti-discrimination bill that covers all of us, and particularly the LGBTQ community. I am really excited to be serving as a pastor in the Georgia State Senate who is also a progressive. For far too long, Georgia legislators have weaponized Christian scriptures to pass legislation that's harmful to people who love like me and to people who are in bodies like mine. The God that I know, the God that I serve and love, loves all of us. We have to bring some sense of empathy and compassion back to how we legislate. If we're gonna move forward, then we're gonna have to do the work of being honest about the ways we've created laws specifically to hurt brown and Black communities. So I look forward to actually being a part of that political process where everybody has an opportunity, a true and real opportunity to thrive in this nation.